Welcome back to Stroke, the Art of Mental Stimulation podcast. How are you guys doing today? You are on the mic with the 5D Life Coach. You guys already know how I do it. This is going to be a very transparent experience. I like to keep it really raw and honest. I don't hold back. The real human experience. Imperfection at its finest. That's who I am. Imperfection at its finest. I like to talk about things that we really go through on a day-to-day basis and hit them from a healing and spiritual perspective. You know, that's who I am. So get ready, man. Buckle up. If you're just joining, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the love. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that, a lot of people have an issue with. A lot of people get it misconstrued. But, we're going to work out all of those kinks today if you allow me to talk to you. Can I talk to you for a minute? Should I be Tevin Campbell in here? Can we talk? Can we talk for a minute? All right. But of course, you guys already know. You may have heard it all before, but not quite like this. And you know what time it is. It is time to get stroked up. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday episodes are my favorites because it's long form. I get to talk a little longer than those 5 minutes. Mind you, I pack a lot of heat in those 5 minutes. Okay. Today's topic, we're going to talk about the hard truths of entrepreneurship. The hard truths of entrepreneurship. And that's something I want to bring to light. People probably talk about it often. They talk about it often, but it's one of those subjects that I think you can never hear too much because it's going to always be a thing, okay? A lot of people just jump out there. They don't realize what's going on. We make it look good. It looks glamorous. We put our best foot forward. We always have our game faces on. So a lot of people look at it like, oh, my God, I have to do it. You have so much freedom. You don't have to do this. You don't have to report into anyone. You don't have to check in and all of this stuff. And it looks so great. And trust me, down the line, it is great. But when you're in those building stages and when you first jump into it, until you find your groove, you know how it is when you have to find that groove. Until you find your groove, it is work. It is hard work. So I just want to put it out there on the forefront for people who are thinking about entering into entrepreneurship, or people who are already a part of that journey. And you know what I need from you guys, right? Back me up. I just need you to back me up and just say amen when I hit a point that you know is a point because they don't realize it's a point. All right. So I'm just going to, hop into it. First off, those of you who don't know me, I am a intuitive clarity coach, and I specialize in helping entrepreneurs and high achievers manage their hidden battles with stress. And the key word here is hidden because, you don't see it. You guys see the results of the hard work that we put in. We cry behind the scene. We're screaming behind the scene. Someone may even be punching a wall behind the scenes. We make it look good, but it gets tough. So, you may look at all of that and be like, oh, my God, I have to have it. I have to do it, which is great because, I'm an advocate of that. People actually having a business of their own, getting out there, pursuing their passions. But we're going to fall back a little bit on the passions because we think passions alone can fuel this thing, and it does not. It might strike that match, but passion alone would not get you very far. All right. And my motto is passion breeds purpose. I feel like everyone has a purpose, and we should find out what that purpose is, and we should live within that purpose. But you're going to need a little bit more than that on this entrepreneurial journey. All right. So that's what I'm here to tell you guys, to really get down in there about those hidden things that entrepreneurs deal with: burnout, overwhelm, fear of failure, imposter syndrome, work-life balance is off, a lot of things, mental block, so many things behind the scenes that we go through that we do not like to talk about. So I want to focus on the inner world. That's why they call me the 5D Life Coach. That's the inner world. The 3D is the outer world. We'll get into that conversation a little bit later. But the things we like to ignore, and we're going through it on our own, you don't have to. And, I'm just here to let you guys know. That first hard truth is entrepreneurship is lonely. It is a lonely, isolated road. And I don't think many of you guys realize that. Once you decide to hop on that path of entrepreneurship, you're going to be to yourself a lot because you're not going to be able to go to all of the parties and all of the fun stuff and all of the things your friends are doing and all of the things your family's inviting you to. You're going to have to sit out on a lot of things, and you're going to have to put that business first to put it out there to really work for you. If you're really in it, if you're diving all the way in it and you're putting your eggs in that basket and you're really going for it, it's going to be a lonely journey. Number one, people are no longer want to hear from you because if all you're talking about is business, they're going to be bored. If they're not on that same ship, they're not selling with you on that same ship, they're going to be bored. you're going to be tired of the conversations that's being had that has nothing to do with what you're thinking about, where your mindset is at right now. So it's going to be a problem. You're going to find yourself to yourself a lot, putting in long hours, making it happen. When you're first starting off, before you hire people, maybe virtual assistants or whoever else you may have on your team, it's just going to be you. So keep that in mind. When you work that job, you have a lot of different people playing a lot of different roles and, have a lot of different parts. You're going to play every role. You're the star of this show. You're the main character. You're the secondary character, whatever they call it. You're all of this. All right. You're the administrator, HR. You're the CEO. You're everything. So, you're going to be stretched pretty thin. If your mindset's really on it, you're going to be researching things that you could do. Your whole world is going to be turned towards that business in that building stage. And I'm just going to be honest, and you're going to have a hard time. And sometimes you're going to say, I wish I just had someone that understands me. And I wish I had a support system. And you're going to have family members or your friends. You're going to speak with them about things you have going on. And they're not going to be saying the things to you that you think they should be saying to you for that motivation, because that's what you're going to be looking for. Sometimes you're going to need that motivation. If you're that strong one, people don't think you need things. They don't think you need help. They think you're all good. So they're not really going to come to you and just say, hey, you're good? You okay? How's the journey? How's the trip? You're not going to have that. All right. So you need to know that, number one. And your family, they're going to be afraid for you. Because you have to think of people who are, accustomed to living a certain way, working in, corporate America, working the job. They're used to making sure their check is on time. And now you're solely responsible for, making sure that money is there. They're going to be afraid. So they may give you advice that you don't want to hear. They may tell you things like, I couldn't do that. Like, man, that's hard. I would quit if I was you. I'd stop if I was you. I would do this if I was you. And, sometimes you may find yourself letting that seep within you, and then you may find some of that self-doubt creeping up on you. All right. So you're going to go through all these things that you're going through in your mind. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. And I just want to let you know this. You're going to feel like you're living in a bubble. We're going to keep it honest. We're transparent, right? You're going to feel like you're all alone. And people are going to think you're crazy, wondering why you don't do anything else but talk about business and why business is your entire life. You're going to go through all of these things, all right? But some things you could do to combat this is, networking. You got to get that circle. You got to change that circle and get around people who are like you, think like you. Even if they're not trying to be in the same industry, at least they have that mindset. They have that high achiever mindset. They have that go for it mindset. You can do it mindset. You have to network and find those type of people. You have to be uncomfortable sometimes and put yourself out there. Mentorship. Get a coach. Get a coach. And I know you're like, no, I'm not going to pay anyone to tell me about this. I got YouTube. I got all this. You have YouTube. You have all these things. You have all this stuff, yet you're still going through it. Yet you're still having hardships. Yet you still have mental blocks. I have a coach. I coached, but I have a coach. I think that's going to be one of the most important things, because most times your coach has already been through some of the things that you're going through. So guess what? They're going to be able to give you advice from experience. It's going to help you skip a couple steps. Not a couple, a lot. Say they've been in business 10 years or something like that. You're going to get 10 years worth of experience given to you where you know the mistakes they made, the things they did, the things you can avoid, things you can implement to make things better. And you're going to catapult ahead of certain situations faster than they did. Kind of like a kid. You know how you teach your kids things and mistakes you made and you tell them about it? So when they get to that thing, it's like, oh, okay. Mama told me about this. Daddy told me about this. Get a mentor or a coach. All right. A support system, period. Facebook groups. They have groups. You have to be around like-minded people. You have to. Find your tribe. You're going to have to get out there. You're going to have to do it. Go to some of these networking events. Sometimes, even if the networking event has nothing to do with your industry, and you just go there to meet other people in other industries who are just forward thinkers, you'll be surprised of how many people you meet and the type of people you meet, and you might find business opportunities. You never know, okay? Make sure you keep those cards and those dots on you. I have a dot card. You just tap it or whatever else they have out there, but you never know. But that's going to be a big key thing to you, hearing other people going through the same struggles you're going through and the same things, and people who understand and people who are isolated as well, and y'all come together and like have aha moments. It's like, it's you too? I'm going through this. And you're like, I'm going through this. and y'all on the same vibe, the same wave, it's a game changer. It's definitely a game changer. So you can combat that loneliness. The hard truth number 2 that a lot of people don't think about. Your financial instability at times is inevitable most times when you're just starting out. It's inevitable. You're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to put money out there that was unexpected. You may have calculated for certain things. I'm going to start my business and I'm going to need this, this, and this. I bought the business license. I got everything I need. I got my building, all of this stuff. But it's so many other costs that's going to come about. You got to think about advertising. You're going to be doing that for a while until you build leads and build your clientele up. I'm in the coaching business. I know coaches, we have a back office. Back office costs money. You have to pay for a CRM, for your contact. You have to pay for calendars. You have to pay for places to house your coaches and all your systems and all that type of stuff. Behind the scenes, you have to calculate all of those things as well. All right. So, I would make sure I have a nice little cash flow. If you can, make sure you gradually graduate into your full-time entrepreneurship is another thing. People will have you thinking that it's a bad thing to be a part-time entrepreneur and you got a job as well. Man, do that thing smart. Be smart, okay? Step out there, tiptoe out there, whatever. Be smart. Even if you find yourself working on your business and it comes a time when you see the finances aren't how you want them yet, do what you have to do. Do what you have to do, man. Forget these people. You are on your own journey. All right, you're on your own journey. Do what you have to do to keep yourself afloat. I get it. I understand. You think, hey, maybe if I, actually jump back into, working a job, that my focus, my attention won't be solely on my business. I'm gonna miss something. I'm gonna be too tired. I'm gonna do this, do that. Come up with a game plan. Hey, even if I'm go work a job for 3 months or whatever, come up with a game plan. 6 months, whatever. But do what you have to do to survive in that game. Don't let ego get you. Don't let other people get you. All right. So map out what works the best for you. All right. That's going to be the most important thing. What works for you to make sure you get it done, to make sure you can stay on that trail, to make sure you can, do what you have to do to actually fulfill your purpose and do what you were put here for. All right. So don't be blinded. You might start off with a certain amount of money, whatever, but that money's going to pump out really, really fast. So, have a game plan, be aware, have great credit, have all these things in order. That'd be a good thing to make sure that you prepare for that when you jump out there. All right. Another hard truth is your work-life balance may be challenging. For those of you who have families, I'm not dating anyone. But I have people all the time asking me why I'm not dating anyone, trying to push me to date or whatever. Not saying I'm close to it because, what's ever meant to be is meant to be. If it's meant to be, I'm here for it, whatever. But I'm not out there searching for it because I know how hard I dive into what I'm doing. I know, I'm building it up. I'm trying to scale my business. So I know my time is limited, and I'm aware of that. All right, so you have to be aware of that, especially for those of you who are already in relationships or marriages or whatever like that. You're going to be working a lot. So you're going to have to be intentional with your time and planning this stuff out, your work-life balance, because you're going to have some angry spouses and angry people. You're going to feel like you're not doing enough for your kids and all that. Imagine a great opportunity come up when your daughter's having a recital or something like that, or your son got a football game, but you have to be at a meeting. And then you haven't been able to make a game in a while type of thing. So, map this stuff out, plan it out, because it's going to be a struggle, okay? It's going to be a struggle. So, time management is going to be big, setting boundaries. And you have to prioritize your self-care because you get caught up in that. Work, stress, pile on top of stress, pile on top of stress. So you're going to have to be able to find that balance in between, having both. And you can do it. You can do it. Even though I've heard a lot of people. Today I was speaking with someone and she said her significant other asked her to choose between the business or him because she works so much. And she said at that moment, I knew, this is what I'm going for. So I imagine that she must have chose the business. She must have chosen the business, okay? So be aware of that. That work-life balance thing is going to be a stretch because you may be super tired by the time you get home, So take a day for you. Take some hours for you. Like, be intentional about your time because the stress is going to build up, and one day it is going to explode if you don't get in front of it. Because remember, you're not one position, you're everything. All right? Keep that in mind. You're everything. It's not like you got a specific task like working a job. You're an entrepreneur. You're doing everything, especially in the beginning. So be mindful of that. The next hard truth I want to talk about is not every idea you have will succeed. Fear of failure is a big one. A lot of people are afraid to fail, so they kind of, slow poke it. They slow roll it because they're scared to take that step that may catapult them to the next step. But a part of entrepreneurship is taking risk. You're already taking risk by stepping out there. You're doing something that a lot of people are afraid to do. So if you're going to make that move to do it, you might as well do it now. When we say don't do it, get in there and, do what you have to do. Because, failure is a part of it too. You're going to realize some things don't work. But you're going to learn from that thing. You're going to take from it what you can take from it to implement it in the next thing that you're going to do. Another thing you're going to figure out, you have a plan, right, of how you want to do this thing. And sometimes you figure out that entire plan that you came up with is going to be null and void, and you're going to be doing it an entirely different way. I found that for my coaching business. I had an idea of how I wanted to do it or whatever, and then bam, I took a whole entirely different route on how I'm going about getting there or whatever. So you never know. You have to be flexible and be open to certain things that you can't be stuck on the end result of this is what it's going to be. All right. I don't want to say have no expectations or whatever. I don't want to say go out there blindly, work towards what you want to work towards, but be flexible too. There may be another way. It may be another twist or turn in your path. An opportunity may present itself when you get out there networking and, talking to people, mentorship, and you get out there with your support system. You never know. And you may find yourself with a light bulb, aha moment that takes you a different route. You may hit a roadblock that takes you a different route. And some people let roadblocks make that ship sink, and some people hit that roadblock, they look around, they think, they gather themselves, and they, seek out a different route. So you have to determine which one will you be. And I think this is very important. And the reason why I'm really diving into these hard truths, because I want a lot more entrepreneurs to actually, jump on the path, be successful, and actually make it. Because a lot of people get off of that boat. They get off of the boat and they leave it all together because it wasn't what they expected. But, if you're aware of some things and you know how to navigate it, it's going to be hard still. But it's a little easier if you actually know what you're dealing with. All right? So you'll be able to stay on that boat. Hey, I knew this was coming. I knew this roadblock was going to be here. Man, I knew this. All right? I knew I was going to be lonely. Like, you know what to expect. You knew these things were coming about. So it makes the journey, just a little tad bit easier, but you're still probably going to get knocked on your face a couple times or two, all right? But you're gonna be a trooper, all right? Stress is a part of the journey. Go ahead and put that out there. You're going to be stressed out somewhere, and not even just the journey of entrepreneurship and the journey of life. You're going to always deal with stress. That's why I say I help entrepreneurs and high achievers manage stress, because I will be lying if I say get rid of it altogether. Manage it. I help them navigate it where when they reach those stressful situations, they're able to navigate it a little faster. I teach them what works for them, a tailor-made experience where what pushes your button to be able to get past and get around these things and reignite you so that fire doesn't burn out. That's going to be very important. Stress is a part of it. If you listen to my Vibe for 5, I always say negative and positive balances are a part of life. You take the hit, you regroup, and you get back to work. Stress is going to be there. All right, so it's all about how you navigate it. When it's bam, hits you in your face, you get punched in the face. A punch is a little different when you know it's coming. All right, when you know it's coming. I'm not saying you don't know the time and the place, but eventually you're gonna get punched in the face some type of way, and that's in life. Period. Okay, so don't get it misconstrued. I'm so tired of being stressed out. I'm tired of being stressed out. People are living their lives navigating, thinking they're gonna be in that happy space all of the time. You're not. And people are in search of that all the time. And they think life is terrible and life is bad because they can't maintain that space all of the time. You have to be able to navigate all situations and all of your emotions. They're going to come. Somebody's going to make you angry. You're going to be sad. You're going to be happy. You're going to be ecstatic. You're going to feel let down. You just got to learn how to go through these things, like process and go through them because they're a part of it. You can't let them stop you and have you at a standstill. And that's going to be the biggest thing. A lot of people let stressful situations stop them, take them out of game for an extended period of time. So if you learn how to navigate those things where you taking that hit, bam, in your face, you suck it up a little bit, you mad, you cry a little bit, but you realize I have to keep going anyway. I still have breath in my body and I get to keep going anyway. Oh, man, that's going to be a game changer. That's going to be a game changer. So you can't be so stressed that you let your fire die, all right, that you burn all the way out. It's okay for, to fizzle low a little bit, but you can't let that fire burn all the way out, okay? And, I do that in my coaching. I teach people how to, keep that fire burning a little longer, how to keep trucking along because you know what to expect. You build up your mindset, your resilience. I have an episode about resilience if someone actually wants to tune into that and listen to that about being resilient, taking those hits and still trucking along anyway. I'm pretty sure you have experience with some type of resilience in your life anyway. I think we all have had to be resilient in some form or another along our paths. So, you just be ready for that. It doesn't change, okay? You have to be resilient. You're going to take hits because you are in territory that, like I said, a lot of people are afraid to do it, and especially if you keep going. If you keep going and you go to the top, guess what? It actually gets better because there's less people up there. It's less people up there. When you're at the bottom of the totem pole, you just starting out, you building this thing super hard, like so much competition and all that. But the further you go, you just got to keep going. Keep that fire burning. The further you go, it's less people because most people give up. And most people let those hard truths hit them too hard and they drop out of the race. You being consistent, you taking those hits and you just keep trucking along and trucking along. Oh, my God, it's going to take you so far. And then sooner or later, you're going to be breathing freely. You're going to be breathing freely, man. Those hard hits you take, they're going to be feeling like somebody hit you with a feather. Somebody swiped a feather across your face because you're going to develop tough skin. But be prepared for that. You're going to develop the tough skin. It's a part of your journey. Oh, man, it's going to be like, you ever had something that hurts so good? That's what entrepreneurship is. It hurts so good. Just knowing what you're doing and you're stepping out and you're actually going for it, you're doing something that people do not do. All right? They don't do it, and you're out there doing it. Give yourself credit. Give yourself a pat on the back. Breathe. Give yourself room to be. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Don't stop hesitating until things are perfect. They say done is better than perfect. So the fact that you're out there making these mistakes, learning, you're doing it. You're really, really doing it for those of you who just already out there. For those of you who are thinking about jumping out there, you're doing an amazing thing. Just be mindful of the steps you take to get there. Have your eyes wide open. Just don't think it's gumdrops and rainbows because it's not. And I just want to get on here and be blunt and direct because that's what I am, blunt and direct. Just tell you like it is. It's all pretty to say I'm an entrepreneur and you feel good about it. But, oh, man, you about to get knocked in your chest. The wind is about to be knocked out your chest. Get ready. That wind is going to be knocked out a time or two out of your chest, and you're going to have to make some things happen. It's some things going to happen. Some things are going to happen that is just not going to be expected, and you're going to be put in a place where you're like, oh, my God. God is going to be the only one you have to go to. You're going to be praying. You're going to be asking yourself, should I be doing this? All of that. But the resilience and the fact that you're going to keep going and going and going is going to be your answer. It's going to be your answer. And don't even be afraid if you get knocked down. Like I said before, every idea doesn't work and you start to feel like a failure because it didn't work or whatever. Don't be afraid to get knocked down. Take a moment and get back up. Get back up. That's it. Who cares what people say? Because a lot of us, we're worried about that ego, what people may think if it don't succeed, if it don't whatever. You are on your own journey. I don't know how many times I have to say that. When we die, all the people are going to do is give you condolences on Facebook, maybe post a picture or two of something they did with you 20 years ago, and that's going to be it. So we can't live for these people. Forget these people. They're going to talk anyway. They're going to talk if you're doing bad. They're going to talk if you're doing good. All right? So that's why you make sure you have that good circle around you because you're going to need that support system. All right? So I just want to just get on here and just drop that knowledge to you guys and just let you know you're not alone. You don't have to do it alone. Those are some tools that you can actually use to make your race, just a little bit better. Your marathon, because that's what entrepreneurship is. Let me correct that. It's not a race. It's a marathon. And with you knowing these things, you can enjoy the process a little bit more. You're not going to get caught up in it. You can actually enjoy the process of these things happening. You can figure out how to navigate these things. And another thing I want to say to people, and this is just a bonus, I'm just giving you guys this, throwing it out there. I don't care what industry you're in. If you're a new entrepreneur or you one that's in it and you're having a hard time, roadblocks, or getting your product out there, whatever, I want to say this to you. You have to know who you are selling to. You have to define who you are selling to. When you're on these social media platforms and all that, you have to define your niche. You have to. Niche, whatever, all the different ways they say it, You have to define who you're speaking with. I don't care what you're selling. You have to be able to say, I'm talking to, like I said, I deal with entrepreneurs and high achievers. You have to define it, because right now it's too broad. You got to bring it in a little bit. Define exactly who you're talking to and who you're promoting for. And you have to tell them what service you provide. What problem do you solve with whatever product that you have? If you're selling water, you would never be thirsty like this again. All right? You just have to define it. You have to put it out there, the problem that you are solving. And that's going to take you a long way. So, do a little market research. Take a look at what other people in your industry are doing. Forget about being a copycat and all that. Who cares, man? In the social media world, you almost got to have a social media presence these days. I didn't like it. I'm just going to tell you that. Believe it or not, I didn't like it. But you kind of have to. Even if you don't have an online business and it's a brick and mortar, you're going to have to. You're going to have to research that. Market research. Know who you're talking to is going to help you so much more when you actually define that. And you may think you're doing something that's so-called trivial, and you don't have to do all of that. Yes, it's very important because, number one, if you do think it's trivial, you're going to separate yourself from the rest of the people in that same trivial industry because you're going to be talking directly to someone. When you post on social media, your post is going to address whoever you're talking to, and that's going to be the difference. All right, because if I'm scrolling down social media and I'm looking on there and someone say, short entrepreneurs, I'm like, I'm short. I'm an entrepreneur. They must be talking to me. Even if I'm not interested, they got my attention, right? It's like they call my name. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to listen and at least hear what they have to say. All right, so that's just something I want to drop to you guys. I'm not going to keep you guys on here long, okay? Stroked, STROK'D _ the podcast at Stroked, STROK'D _ the podcast. And for those of you who are really struggling and you're having a hard time managing this hidden stress and you want to work with someone who totally understands, who's going to give you your own tailor-made experience, no judgment, we're going to really get in there, help you get that clarity and everything that you need. I have another free masterclass coming up, the Path to Peace and Productivity Masterclass, July the 9th. So you actually can go to my Instagram page at THE5 Life Coach at THE5 Life Coach. And it should be a link there where you can sign up for my free masterclass. And you're going to want to be on that one. I'm really going to dive in deeper on how to hit those problems that I targeted, that stress that we actually go through on the entrepreneur journey. You're not going to want to miss it. I think I've updated that link on there. It should say free masterclass. If you have any troubles getting in there, just hit me with a DM and I'll drop you the link to get you on there. Let's go to work because, I understand. Trust me. And I would love to help as many people as possible. That's my purpose. My God-given purpose is to help people, man. God said if I help people, I would never want for anything. I give all of myself, and I'm not in the convincing business. I'm not one of those people who's trying to convince you to work with me. I know what I offer. I know the value. I know my heart. I know that I really get out there. I put it all out there. But I really would like to invite you, and I really would love if you guys would join me. Come listen to me speak a little bit more. All right? But I'm going to let you guys go. Have a beautiful day. I don't know what day you may be listening to this, day, night, whatever. All right? But make sure you tune in to what I told you on this episode so you can really be prepared because you can get out there. You can really succeed, be a superstar. You got it. You're going to be okay. All right? But, of course, what just happened to you. You just got stroked up. Bye.